All right. This took me so long setting up that I forgot what I was even going to talk about, but let's turn that off meanwhile to get some more clarity in the sound. أضربك في مشاكل Alright, so this video took, or this setup took rather, so long to set up that I don't even remember what I was going to talk about. But having this crazy ass music doesn't really help it either, so I'm gonna put on some calm music to listen to meanwhile we are performing this operation. So yeah, if y'all ever seen this, yeah, you might know what I'm listening to right now. All right, but lower volume. So there were something that I was going to talk about right now, and setting up the camera and audio and everything. It is quite some friction if you do not have the, like, I don't even have a fucking tripod right now, which is kind of crazy to, like, thinking that, yeah, I have a camera that costs like fucking too much, simply put. So yeah, I'm gonna invest in a tripod fairly soon. But with my recent liquidation, everything hurts in my pockets, man, everything. But that is besides the topic of this video. The thing I was going to talk about today, or right now rather, this is my third recording in a single day. And this is the convenience of having the right setup. Like right now, I'm slicing sausage, but I can talk and I can record simultaneously. And I can just pump out content without it feeling like an effort, which is a topic for a whole different video in of itself. But today's topic, let's finally get to it. And that is, things will take time. Do not stress anything, because like inevitably things, they take time, right? Like old money, if we're gonna refer to the concept as such, like, did you think that all of those people achieved everything they have in a single day? No, they didn't. Either they inherited it, and then either way, they didn't earn it. So like, it's not even worth considering. And if they did, they most likely lost it or it went to ruins or whatever. But if they made it themselves, like, it took them time. And nothing has really changed in that domain, even if it's new times. Like, things take time. People just make it look like it isn't taking time for them to profit on you. So yeah, they can make more money. Simple. But like, in reality, I don't know. Things take their time, like truly. And I treated trading as the opposite as such. And for that I had to pay a hefty price. However, I gained very insightful knowledge in return. Because trading, although this isn't the topic of the video, I'll keep it brief. So trading essentially, like, if you're gonna have a mentor with trading, there will be some things that you miss out on because you don't learn them for yourself. You don't have any emotional attachment to X event or said event, which makes it very hard for you to ingrain it in your memory, because we humans, we work like on a subconscious level constantly. And same thing with like visualization. I don't know how acquainted you actually are to like this visualization, but if you bring in emotion to visualization, like it will be easier for your subconscious to bring it forward and materialize into the actual quote-unquote reality. And the reason for that is because like neurons in your brain, it has something to do with neuroplasticity. I'm not too read on the topic exactly, but I know what I need to know, and that's good enough. But simply put, like the neurons in your brain, they will be more fired up and rewired differently if you involve emotions to your visualization, which makes it stick to your subconscious on a whole different level than it would if you were not to involve emotions. So to back what I was saying with trading, like with trading, those losses, man, those big fucking losses, they hurt, man. They really do. And I'm not gonna say that they don't, because then I would be lying. Like, they do. And that is also why you learn from them, because they hurt so much. Like, you can always read about someone losing money. Like, you've probably heard stories about someone losing millions of dollars. But like, how has that actually affected your life on a daily basis? It hasn't really at all. And the same thing, someone might have been killed. You've read in the paper someone has been killed for doing X, Y, and Z. But how has that affected your life? In your like action taken and all of that? Probably not a whole lot. Whereas you might have gotten into a like simple one-on-one fist fight or something, but that has changed your life like entirely. And the same thing goes with investing and emotional attachment. If you don't have any emotional attachment, you will not learn from it. So mentorships can only help so much in that regard, because like you're shortcutting certain lessons that you need to learn for yourself. And yeah, the same goes with anything. Like certain fields of work might not have as many lessons like that, but like all fields has them. Like sales, for example, as well. Same thing there. You can read, you can do whatever your mentor or coach tells you to do, but at the end of the day, you need to put them in practical use. You need to use them in sales calls and execute on them on the call while you're talking. Like, else it will have no effect. And even if you have everything theoretically like perfect in your head, like it doesn't matter at all, because once you're up on the call or in the call and you're there talking, and this guy is coming with this like objection, and you're trying to respond to it, and yeah, you don't even know how to respond because you haven't put it into like practical use. And sure, studying and theory, it helps, but the practical part, it helps you ingrain it into your like muscle memory, into your neurons, neuroplasticity, put it into your subconscious, so it becomes natural, so you don't actively have to force yourself to do things like that. And that's why stressing things is just not worth it. And the same with like the online money space or whatever, because if you're on this online money space, which you most likely are in some way or another, if you're watching this video, like it's just not worth trying to stress anything, because most people that stress it, I've seen like countless examples of people selling courses. They earn so much money so quickly, but they haven't built up a foundational skill set for them to really make a sustainable income long term. So like once that trend dies out, they're completely gone. They're left out of the fucking race because they don't know what to do. They were sustaining themselves and they were making their like liver bread or livelihood bread or whatever. They were making the bread, simply put, through selling you things that they didn't even know themselves about. And that is also why I personally, unless I will become a real professional in a field, won't create courses for people to pay for. Because one, it is not morally right. I'm sacrificing my own integrity to do that, and I would like to believe that I'm not a person that compromises my integrity for such trivial things as some simple fucking dollar notes. But everything is relative. We all do ourselves, I suppose. But me personally, no, I will not do that. And other people, yeah, sure. But back to what I was saying. Like, if you're sustaining yourself by selling fucking courses, and that trend dies out, which you made your money from, yeah, then you won't have anything to do. And on the other hand, if you just fucking taken your time, built up a foundation to make money yourself, and then helped people implement the same process or whatever that you actually made money from, not just temporarily, but you found a formula to help people or make money, and then you sell that formula essentially. Then that's another thing, but that doesn't come fast either. And I know some figures in the sales space as well, which is a good example of I've seen a lot of people just talk a lot of shit, and then there are some figures that actually have put in the work for countless of years, and they've more or less perfected their craft. And don't get me wrong here, you can never really perfect your craft because you can always improve, honestly. But there comes a point in time where diminishing returns will be very, very heavy, meaning that essentially the results that you get from improving are very minimal. And when they are so extremely minimal, then you've quote unquote reached perfection. Although it isn't perfection, it's basically as close to perfection as you can. And then it is another thing to, I suppose, sell courses or programs or mentorships or whatever. But another thing that I'm thinking of actually doing for myself in the future is not to sell a course or anything like that, but maybe create a second channel or third channel even for the main thing I do in my life. So crypto is one, and that is the primary, I suppose. But it's not my primary active income. It's just gonna be something that I use to basically invest, or what's the proper word for it? I know the Swedish word, but I'm not sure of the English word for it. Förvalta i alla fall. Polska. Manage, administer, discharge. Yeah, that is not really it, but I'm gonna use it as a way to prosper my money, or essentially grow it. But until I've reached a certain point, I want to build up foundational skills to always make me bring money. And then trading and crypto and all of that, they can come secondary. But for me personally, that is just what I think will suit me best. Because there are some people that are naturally super gifted with being highly autistic individuals that can just sit on hours on end analyzing charts and not being bored at all, or not getting mentally fatigued. But I'm not one of those, sadly. I get fatigued. There comes a point which is quite early on to my session, after just 1 hour at a time. Sometimes it can be 3 hours, sometimes 2. But there comes a point in time in my each and every session where I just don't pick up information, and the topics, they become too complex. If it's some For example, if you were to get into like solidity programming, you would understand what I mean by complexity and stuff like that. I'm not even gonna give it a shot because that specific thing, it doesn't interest me. So why force something that doesn't interest me and doesn't align with me? Whereas there's certain other things that I think are naturally easier for me to do. So yeah, then just why not focus on that? Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is those things that you know you're good at, go for them and strengthen them, but don't leave your weak points completely unchecked and don't like try to hone them at all, but tune in more to your strong points. And then if there's anything that's like that you're middle curving, so to say, like, then if it doesn't take away time from this primary thing, or if it yields more results than this primary thing to a certain extent, then sure, go for this too. Or even if it doesn't, if it makes you feel better in a way that you can give this more, then by all means do that as well. For example, exercise. It isn't something that directly impacts your business, for example. It doesn't make you more money directly, but indirectly it puts you in a like different mental shape. It shapes your body, it shapes your mind, which ultimately transcends to your business, but indirectly, if you get what I mean. So that's currently what I'm trying to figure out for myself as well, like a bit what I'm gonna actually focus 100% on. But yeah, don't stress whatever you do, because, or no, actually, do not stress whatever you do. You should have a sense of urgency, but you shouldn't be stressing it, because if you're stressing it, like, it will never turn out good. Or yeah, it will, probably. I don't know. I can't say it won't, because it's very likely that it will, but don't have a sense of urgency, but don't stress it. I think you understand what I mean, honestly. And now I'm gonna walk backwards because I don't feel like editing much more than I already gonna do and blur my face out. But yeah, don't take the fucking shortcuts. And by the way, what I'm cooking right now, it's very simple food. It's not the most healthy that I've ever made, really, but I thought, like, I have this apartment, it's not mine, it's my mom's. It's gonna be viewed tomorrow, like, for sale. So yeah, I don't wanna mess this up too much. So I just got some sausages, like lamb sausages, and then some tortellini to have with it, for the sake of simplicity, really. And yeah, this is my third recording of today, as I might have mentioned. So yeah, I gotta fucking almost dropped my camera. I was about to say, but yeah, not really. Plugged out the charger and almost dropped the camera. But yeah, I gotta take advantage of the time I have completely by myself now in this apartment, because at Friday I will be not here anymore, and probably the next time I'm in my hometown, this apartment will be sold. So yeah, just gonna chill, enjoy the view of the little view. Enjoy the view of the view. Whatever. Nothing special, but it's pretty calming, tranquil, especially on the fucking winters and autumns. And yeah, this right here, this is some addictive shit. I don't recommend anybody starting with this. And if you've ever seen someone like advocate for nicotine gums for absolute focus or whatever, please, just be quiet, man. Like, why the fuck would you even like willingly want to become addicted to a substance that you feel like shit without having? Like, it doesn't help with focus. Like, your baseline is just fucking corrupted. And you do things like that every fucking time after you've had a nicotine pouch. Because these things that I have right here, like, they are like the materialization of fucking Chernobyl. I'm telling you, like, this shit has corroded up my entire gum. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, my gum, like, at the start, for the first years, it was bleeding here and there, and now, on occasions, it does bleed if I like do it very heavily. But my gum, it's so like corroded that you can see like the top of my teeth that usually has gum over them. So if that is not an indicator that this is not good, then I don't know what is really. But this shit, that's so good, man. That's so better. I might read later. I'm not gonna say I will, but I might. So yeah. And then another thing that I actually have to say about this whole thing with stressing it and all of that is that, oh shit, oh wait, alright, great. That is that you, or I'm not gonna put words into your mouth, but that's at least how I feel. Like, I've personally been very tempted to just go the easy route and just go onto TikTok, IG, and whatnot, and just create fucking like shit short form content to retain the attention of brain fried or people with fried dopamine receptors and just steal their money by selling them shit courses. And the reason for that is because, as everybody else, I have the material temptation to get stuff. But another thing is that I want to get out of my current situation. Like, right now, I'm here, but recently I moved to my cousin's place. And I live in a room that is as small as this section right here, up to like maybe, no, twice this size basically. And I can't really open my window because there's fucking birches everywhere and I'm allergic, so I cannot sleep, and it's super warm. And like downstairs, like you cannot really, you're not really that free. Like, all parents, they have their fucking wants and needs and desires and their controllings to compensate for whatever, unless you're like super successful and most likely want you to succeed in one way or another. But most normie parents, they are that way. And like, that can be on a subconscious level too. Some are more, some are less. But that's the general consensus of the situation. So like, I don't know, man. I just need to get a place for myself. I need to get away from my hometown. I need to get away from this country, honestly. I just need to reset. I need to find myself anew. Like, who knows? I might even fucking turn around and show my face in a year or two if that is something that aligns with me at that point in time. Most likely I won't, because if I ever were to become famous, I don't want people to know who I am, if that makes sense. Because who knows, I might just want to live in the Amazonas, as I said in the previous recording, which I haven't uploaded. Or I might just join the corporate world and make billions. And I don't want to have my face all on YouTube with no privacy done. Or if I go to the Amazonas, same thing. But yeah, don't take shortcuts. Don't stress it just because you want to get something that you're not worthy of having yet. Because if you truly would be worthy, you would have it. Like, it needs to get into your mind before it can materialize into the real world, before you get it. But still, if you were to be like super, super close to it, then you would have it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you're not worthy of it. I don't want to put limiting beliefs inside your head, because I know for a fact that if you're watching this, then you 100% are worthy. But like, you shouldn't be taking shortcuts for it. Because, yeah, as I said, what comes easy will go away easy. And build up the foundation, take the hard route. Don't avoid the hard steps. Do the hard work at all times, even when you don't fucking feel like it. And especially then, because that is when you build up your discipline and train yourself to do those things that you don't want to do, but need to do. So yeah, don't take any shortcuts, and don't fry your sausage on too high levels of warmth, because then they become fried and burnt, and yeah, that is never good. But yeah, I think that this right here is more or less it, honestly. I'm just gonna see if I have a plate under here, which I do not. Which means that they are tracelessly gone. But you know what to say though? No, there's actually one. It's whatever. Shout out to Digga D. I don't listen to him though, because, yeah, in my opinion, his music is trash. But still, shout out to him. But you know what? Even though his music is not my favorite, some other people might like it. And even though his music isn't good in my opinion, another thing that he has accomplished is money. And money not through a slow route, through a fast route. He has built that shit up for years and dropped song after song after song after song and experimented. Just like fucking Central C has as well. So yeah. Yes, like Lil Baby has as well. Fuck man, like everyone. How many one-hit wonders still exist today? Not a lot. And that proves it even more. Like in every industry, what comes quickly goes away quickly. But once you've established that thing that you can't really put into words, like that you just naturally, like you've grown to naturally know how things work, then you're set. Then you are set, and then you can then you can do whatever you want to do, man. And now we are gonna do like this, man. Because I'm not gonna show you my face today. So yeah. But all jokes, there hasn't really been any jokes. But yeah, everything of that aside, do not stress things. Let it take its time. Do not compromise your integrity. Actually, I'm gonna recap when there's not as much sound, just in case there's something that gets cut out or something due to like high sound. So let's do it again on you after I've done this. Alright? Fuck man, this water is warm. It really is. I'm gonna have to do the dishes entirely tomorrow because I'm definitely not doing that today. Alright, but to summarize is do not stress whatever you are doing. Stress is not good. Urgency, however, is pressure, like constructive pressure is good, and urgency is good, but stress isn't. Stress is that thing that makes you anxious, that makes you like perform worse, that doesn't make you perform better. So avoid stress, add a lot of urgency, have patience and be patient, let it take the time it is required, and now it feels like I forgot something. Yeah, don't sacrifice your integrity to make money unless your integrity is all about money and you don't have any integrity. If your bar of integrity is low, by all means, then it's nothing that you sacrifice. But if you want to be a man, if you are a man rather, then don't sacrifice your integrity for money. And yeah, that is honestly it, I feel like. Hope you enjoyed this little cooking session that took a bit longer than it had to. And that my butter actually melts sometime. But yeah. Ooh, I bought some oranges too. And I had 3 clementines while I was on a walk earlier. That was nice. But yeah, I'm gonna put up this sausage so you can see how it all turned out. And then I'm actually gonna watch some episode of Baga. Alright, put the butter into the fridge and maybe I should take a fork instead. I should. Alright, and as they say, in the beautiful country of Japan, What do they say in the beautiful country of of the Asian Japan country? Well, as far as I'm aware, to my knowledge, they say "Itadakimasu." By the way, that is the end. Thanks for watching.